Good morning and welcome back to another CSS battle. The target for today looks pretty straightforward. We just got these two rectangles in each corner with a triangle in each of them. So to start off, we'll call this HTML element, we'll call this one a box, and we'll call this one the box end. In each of these elements, we're also going to have another div for a triangle. We can just copy and paste this one into the next one here. And that's going to be all the HTML that we need to successfully complete this target. So now let's move on to the body. We can add a background color of this dark blue. I'm also going to remove the default margin since we need these elements to be pressed up right against the edge. And now let's move on to our boxes. So for the boxes, it looks like they're half the page here. The page is 400 pixels, which means we'll need to make our elements 200 pixels wide. It looks like the height is about 100 pixels. And let's add a background, which is going to be that light blue. And now we have both our elements here. They're stacked on top of each other. What we need to do is move the bottom element to the right bottom corner. So let's do that. We'll add a position of absolute. And now we can move it 0 pixels away from the bottom and 0 pixels away from the top. There we go. So now we need to add our triangles inside of our divs. We're going to need to use the CSS triangle technique. So let's start with a border top. Looks like it'll be 100 pixels tall, and it's going to be solid blue. We're also going to need to add a transparent border on the left and right sides. So for border right, we can add 50 pixels solid transparent. And we can do the same for the left. And the last thing we need to add is the width, which will be 0 pixels. We also need to center these triangles inside of their parent. So let's add a margin of 0 and auto. And now the last thing we're going to need to do, this triangle at the bottom is upside down. So for our end box, what we can do, we can just add the rotate property and we'll rotate it 180 degrees so it's upside down. And the last thing we have, our triangles are a little bit too wide, so what we can do is reduce the right and left border a little bit. That'll make it the triangle a little bit narrower. And there we go. I think that's a pretty close match. Let's just submit just to make sure. There we go, 100% match. Yeah, so just to review, we're able to use position absolute to put our second div in the bottom right corner. We were able to use the CSS triangle technique to make some triangles inside of those. And lastly, we just rotated the bottom right element to be upside down so it matches the target. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.